exciting news to share. Before I start, I want to share with the students, I stand in front of you as someone who has experienced food insecurity, as a single mother who was aiming to achieve higher education in order to provide a better life for her son. I come to you with tremendous compassion and gratitude because you're helping others that are experiencing tremendous need. I would like to highlight some people that are here today with us. Grateful to Assemblyman Eduardo Garcia, from the Office of the Governor, Josh Fry, our Board of Trustee Chair, Ruben Perez, California Volunteer Commissioner, Jesse Menga, Pine Food Bank CEO, Debbie Espinosa. And I want to make sure I acknowledge all of the COD team and these students for being so magnificent. So we honor all of you. Once again, thank you for joining us as we unveil an expanded Central Food Pantry at College of the Desert. The pantry, which is a result of hard work and a partnership with Fine Food Bank, will offer those in need regular access to food, healthy food. And it is important that I highlight healthy food because we don't always have access to it. There are many in our community that don't have access to it. Fine Food Bank is a true leader in bettering people's lives, not just in the Coachella Valley, but across Riverside and San Bernardino counties. Fine Food Bank is has a strong and reliable presence in our communities, and College of the Desert is proud to support and collaborate with this organization. Over the past several years, we have continuously worked on expanding free food programs to address food insecurity, which is a serious and growing problem among college students and in our country. According to the 2019 Real College Survey by the California Community College Chancellor's Office and the Hope Center, more than half of the 1.8 million students served by the California Community College system struggle daily with food insecurity. I'm going to pause there because that is a serious problem. When students are trying to achieve higher education because they have hope that education will lead to a better life, to better opportunities, and to not have access to food consistently, how are they able to concentrate in a class? Of the students surveyed, 41% said they skipped meals or ate smaller portions for financial reasons. 12% had not eaten for an entire day during the previous month because they did not have enough money. Since 2019, College of the Desert has partnered with Fine Food Bank and the Hunger Free Campus Grant, which we're grateful for that funding, to bring a fine food truck to Palm Desert, Indio, Mecca Thermal, Desert Hot Springs, and Palm Springs campuses. This food truck visits and provides a lifeline to hundreds of students at each stop. Today, we deepen the partnership even further by establishing a permanent space for Find and a central food pantry here at our Indio campus. And we're really proud of that. COD students now have access to fresh fruits, vegetables, and non-perishable food items free of charge on a regular basis. The food pantry resulting from this collaboration will make a real difference in the lives of our students and their families. The impact of the new Indio campus central pantry helps our students and their families. This location provides a local opportunity to access food that reduces the number of children, adults, and seniors in our community that experience hunger. Moreover, many College of the Desert students in the Pledge program volunteer at Find Food Bank as part of their community service. Our students give back to our community, and that really makes me proud. We've recently enhanced this collaboration through Californians for All College Core program that offers qualifying students up to $10,000 for college in exchange for a year of public service at community organizations that focus on education, climate change, and food insecurity. We are thrilled to share that the College Core program has nearly 50 students participating this year, and we applaud you, students. We are also excited that the College Core program is open to dreamers, helping these young adults achieve the educational opportunities to help them spread their wings and prosper, as we know that these students experience additional challenges. In addition to the up to $10,000 financial stipend, participants also receive an education award, academic credit, industry job experience and skills, access to training, networking, and professional development opportunities, and a sense of pride and accomplishment in working toward a common purpose alongside young leaders from across the state. But what's most important is that we are creating a culture of service, a culture of care, a culture of prosperity, and that is what is most meaningful about this collaboration. College of the Desert is incredibly proud of our partnerships with Find Food Bank and made possible by Assemblymember Garcia's office and California volunteers, and the Office of the Governor and our amazing team who is working with these young and non-traditional kids. We have to keep in mind we have non-traditional students, right? Not all of them are traditional students. That it takes a village to be able to support our community in the way that we are. By opening this central pantry on our Indio campus, we're making a difference for students and their families by helping them overcome food insecurity. And through College Core, students gain financial security, knowledge, and experience. We're also helping Find Food Bank by providing a dedicated staff of student volunteers to help them meet their goal of eliminating hunger. Together we are making a difference. We are creating a culture of service, care, belonging, and pride. Next, I would like to invite California Chief Service Officer Josh Friday with the Officer of the Governor to share remarks. I thank you all.
Thank you, President Garcia. Thank you for the introduction. Thank you for having us, hosting us today, and also sharing your personal inspiring story, which inspires all of us, and for the culture of care and service that you're creating here, not just on campus, but in the community. My name is Josh Friday. I have the honor of serving as California's Chief Service Officer in the Office of the Governor, and it is just so exciting to be here today. Today is really about a promise. It's a promise that Governor Newsom made along with our leaders of higher education last year, a promise to give students like you all the opportunity to serve your community and get help paying for college. And this promise is based on a simple idea. It's the idea of the GI Bill, which is that if you're willing to serve your community, we're going to give you the chance to earn it and help you pay for college. $10,000 to help you pay for school. And that $10,000 is important because that's the gap that so many students here in California have to come up with by either taking out loans, which is why we have a student debt crisis, or by working. I had to work washing golf carts at a local golf course when I was a Pell Grant recipient in school. Many young people throughout California now are working at coffee shops or other places. But now you get to be part of the community. You get to serve. And we're literally here today delivering on that promise. Not just because we see nearly 50 members of the College of the Desert community who stepped up to serve and be part of this program, which are part of a community of over 3,200 students across the state that are part of College Corps, thousands of your fellow colleagues who have stepped up to serve their community. But we're literally delivering on that promise in the form of a big old check that your assembly person has delivered to this community, nearly $2 million to support not just students to further your career, but also to support the Find Food Bank, an incredible, incredible organization that serves this entire region. And this promise is it's not just about helping you, it's about opening doors. It's about opening doors to a whole new generation of young people who are really asking to create change. Who are not just asking for the door to be open, they're kicking down the door saying, we need change in this country. We have to make change. And this opportunity, College Corps gives so many students here in the Inland Empire and throughout the state the chance to decide, or to have to not decide between pursuing your passion or a paycheck, between helping your community or career. With this program, you get to do both. And we're opening those doors for a population that in our country, for really no good reason, have too often been excluded from opportunities like this. And those are our dreamers. And we are so proud that this is the first state service program of its kind to be open to our AB 540 California Dream Act students. And we say to all of those students who have joined, several of them at the College of the Desert, several of them in the Inland Empire, we say to you, we believe in you, we value you, and we absolutely understand how much you will contribute to making this world a better place for all. So thank you to all of our students who have stepped up, to have been part of this program that we really believe is a win-win-win. It's a win for our students when they graduate with less debt and also with the professional skills and the social capital. It's a win for our community when we get to support amazing organizations like the Find Food Bank and the pantry that's opening on campus today. And it's a win for society, where we now will have a generation of young people, you all, who understand what it means to come together and work with people with very different backgrounds, very different perspectives, different places, to solve problems together. That's the kind of vision that we have for this state, where we're building community, we're solving problems together, and we're doing it together. And I'm just going to finish by letting you in on a little secret here. This program is so important to the governor of California, and to the state, and to your assembly members and your representatives, because we need you. We have really big problems in our state. Growing in food insecurity, which we saw skyrocket during the pandemic. This year, we had members of the National Guard supporting the Find Food Bank to make sure that we were able to serve this community. And that was happening throughout the state, and now you are stepping into that role to support the food bank. Critical work around inequality, poverty, climate change, really big problems. And we need you to step up, and you have. That's why you inspire us. That's why you give us so much hope. You have stepped up to serve your community, to make a difference. And I got a chance to hear from a student earlier, talked about wanting to be part of College Corps, to be a model for his community, for his kids, and for this state. And I'm here to tell you on behalf of Governor Newsom, you all are a model. You are the model for what we need to solve the problems that we have in this society, to create real change, and to create a state that is a Californian for all. So thank you for stepping up. Thank you for being part of this. y ahora hago en español para nuestras familias que hablan español. Californians for All College Court es un programa nuevo lanzado por el gobernador Newsom para crear oportunidades para que los jóvenes presten servicio en sus comunidades y reciban $10,000 para pagar la universidad. Y por primera vez, nos da mucho orgullo poder incluir en un programa estatal de servicio a los estudiantes que califican bajo AB 540 California Dream Act. I'm so honored to be here. Governor Newsom is so proud of you all and honored to be part of the program. I want to thank Assemblymember Garcia, who's going to come and speak shortly and deliver real resources to this community for being such a champion of these types of programs. I want to thank President Garcia again for hosting us, for sharing this, making this program work. I want to thank my good friend Debbie Espinoza, the leader of the Fine Food Bank, who has been supporting this community in such incredible ways for many, many years. And I also want to thank, I think probably the Empire's proudest native son, our commissioner, Jesse Melgar, in the back, who's a California Volunteers Commissioner and true champion of service and of you all. Thank you so much for having us here today. So excited to see everything you're going to accomplish. And now I get the real honor of introducing Assemblymember Garcia to present to you something very special. Thank you.
Un fuerte aplauso más para Josh. Muy bien, habla el español, ¿verdad? Sí se le entendió. I can tell he grew up somewhere near the barrio. Where it came in handy. Right? It came in handy. Or access to a good meal or something. Right? No pun intended. Right? Thank you so much. Students, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the opportunity to address you all. And it's always great to interact and hear the stories that you all have. Josh, as we're standing on the side, says, when did you graduate from College of the Desert? And I started doing the math, right? And it was a long time ago. But what comes to my mind when someone asks me that question is really how long I was at the community college. I was a part-time student, I was working full-time, and I was living at home. But the moment that comes to my mind every time someone asks that question isn't so much how long I was there, it was all of the questions and complaints that I used to get from my mother that she would say, ¿Y cuándo vas a terminar la escuela, muchacho? Right? When are you going to finish school? Right? And I was thinking about that because it is a balance. It is a balance to be able to commit yourself 110% to go to school, to have a job, in some occasions to take care of a family, right, contribute to the household, and still, right, and still be able to set your goals and objectives as the primary responsibility. That's not an easy thing to do, and so it's very commendable to all of you who have signed up for this program. I want to recognize, of course, the Office of the Governor for being here today. He has been an amazing partner for us here in this region. And as I mentioned earlier, I can go down a long list of investments that have made their way to our region thanks to the partnership that we have with Governor Newsom. I want to, of course, acknowledge we're here to celebrate the investment in you and this program and the hopes that it will continue to grow for purposes of delivering on our promise, which is community service. $1.8 million. That's not change. That's a little bit of cash to do some very, very positive things. It's important that I acknowledge the leadership of the college. I want to say thank you to Superintendent Garcia, who we've had a tremendous work partnership in her time here at the college, and also while she was the president of the Imperial Valley College. I told the story earlier that during this pandemic, a lot of unfortunate circumstances presented themselves, but we also got to see people in action, respond to the nature of the urgency, and under her leadership, and I see that happening here in our region as well, we were able to come together. She had a plan, she had a vision prior to the pandemic, and boom, there was a housing need for homelessness students, and before you knew it, they're building homelessness houses, tiny homes for the students at the college. And so she's someone who sees a problem, recognizes the partnerships to create the opportunity, and executes. And I'm looking forward to see the great things that she's going to do. I want to acknowledge the board chair, Ruben Perez, who's done an excellent job in shepherding the college during this time of the pandemic, and also the work that he does in the community. Just as a side note, he's one of our partners, one of our team members in our office, and actually helps make a lot of things happen when it comes to the work that we do day in and day out in our district. So I want to acknowledge his leadership and say thank you. And of course to all of the other board members, although they may not be here, I also want to just recognize their leadership. I want to tell you that this program is one of 45 throughout the state of California, universities, colleges, and we have approximately 18 that consist of the community college. You're one of them. You're one of them that's kind of pioneering this vision, this idea that we can set up a program where we reinvest in our community, but that we're also, and with the hopes of attracting you all to continue on the path of public service. And as Josh said earlier, you have huge problems, and it requires huge ideas with bright minds like yours to be able to solve them. And there are so many career opportunities in public service that, really, if it's an engineer, if it's a psychologist, if it's someone who wants to go into media relations, there are a number of different pathways that you can pursue. But today you're here and you're contributing to the effort of making sure we address the food insecurity issue that exists in our region. And to talk a little bit about the food insecurity issue, right? You would think that we live in an area where we have a predominantly large agricultural community, right? That most of the folks that work in that industry would not go without having fresh food on their tables. But the reality is quite different. It's quite different, and that's why organizations like Find Food Bank exist. It's because they are here to provide those gaps and deficiencies that exist in our communities as it relates to people accessing fresh food and goods. And it's one of those things that it is eye-opening for some, and for others it's real because you've seen it firsthand. You've seen it firsthand, or you know firsthand someone that has experienced that circumstance. I want to acknowledge that the significant portion of this program that allows for all students, right? We're talking about all, we're talking about inclusive to all, is something very important to me. Because in our region, we do have a significantly large amount of students who see greater challenges when it comes to entering into higher education opportunities. And then, of course, there's always criteria and eligibility issues that limit their ability to pursue an opportunity like this. And so the fact that AB 540 students are able to participate in this program, it's really, really important to us. It aligns with the values and the principles of our great state, California, and it's important that we continue to highlight those efforts to make sure that we are building and serving a California for all and to all. Lastly, I just want to say that it's really great to be able to stand here with Debbie Espinoza, someone who during the pandemic, her team at Find Food Bank did miracles in a time in which there were limitations for all of us in this crisis that was in front of us. And so we just formally met right now. I don't think we've ever met in person, right? And so it is a pleasure to meet you and say thank you for the work that you've done in this community. I know how far your reach goes, and I know that during the pandemic, when we got calls from Father Baldovinos, rest in peace, who was in the church in Mecca, and other folks at Galilee Center and other places around the region that we represent, and they said, where do we go to enhance our reach? It was always Find Food Bank. And there was never a time where they came back and they said they weren't able to help us. It was always, thank you for the lead, because it turned into an actual action and us being able to help the community. So I want to just introduce Debbie Espinoza, the President and CEO Well, before I do that, I just want to say thank you all for the opportunity to address you, and congratulations for being the first group, and congratulations for getting this $1.8 million.
It's so nice to be here with all of you today. One of the beauties of going after all of these amazing people is that they've pretty much said everything that I was going to say with facts and statistics. And I can't say it any better. I appreciate all of you understanding food insecurity, not just from the global perspective of food insecurity, but really how it drives down into the Coachella Valley and the Inland Empire, so we understand how to best make investments to be able to create change. What I want to focus on today now, and if you can give me a little bit of grace as I've had to kind of reconstruct what it is that I think will be meaningful to all of you here, and thanking you for your help and helping you understand how much Fine Food Bank absolutely appreciates all of you as students, dedicating your time to help those that are food insecure, to College of the Desert, so you understand the meaning and impact of your partnership with us, and allowing us to have an extended home here in a place-based pantry that's a fixed location for students to be able to access. To Assemblymember Garcia for having our back, not just Fine Food Bank, but all the nonprofits here in the Coachella Valley for all of the work that we have to do in order to make sure that our community can thrive. And for Josh Friday and for the governor for really not forgetting us. Here in this area, we are one of the rural areas of California, and not just in California, but many states throughout the U.S. The rural areas can be underinvested, but there are so many amazing people here that are absolutely worth the investment. So thank you for not overlooking us, and thank you for coming and taking the time. Josh has actually been down here 4 times now. Through the pandemic, got on a plane. We said, we need for you to see what is going on here, and he jumped on his plane with his team, and they captured our story, and they told our story throughout the state. So thank you so much for doing that, in partnership with Assemblymember Garcia for doing that too as well.
And we're going to keep coming back.
Thank you. I appreciate that. For me, this program, and when College of the Desert approached Fine Food Bank to be a partner when they had found out about this opportunity, the weight behind it, I'm going to share with you, because for me, it's both personal and professional. When my family immigrated here in the 70s from the Philippines, so welcome very much to the United States. I love that story. My mother and father both had their degrees from university in the Philippines, but when they came here to the United States, their degrees were not transferable to a certain extent. And the college and university systems back in the 70s are not as advanced. They didn't really understand the meaning of immigrants that were here and the education that they carried with them. And so they had to go back to school. My parents only had $700 in their pockets at that time. My brother and sister, who were 2 and 3 year old, were in tow, and my mom was 7 months pregnant with me. And so very, very, within 3 months of being here with not knowing anybody, I was born. So if you can imagine the weight of that, having no one and only $700 in your pocket. And they needed to get jobs. When I was 3 years old, my mom, they had figured out the system, they had figured out the way, and it was through the community college system that gave my mom the opportunity to be able to get the credentialing in order to be able to continue in her field in science and the hospital industry. And she had this little 3-year-old daughter that did not want to go to daycare because she was super afraid. And the community college said, we want you here, we're going to figure out a way. Again, it wasn't as evolved as what it is now. I am so grateful that you guys think about daycare. Because if it wasn't for my mom's teachers allowing her to bring me with her to classes in community college, allowing me to sit by her side so she could go and get her education and her credentialing, I'm not sure if I would be standing here today. And I'm not sure that I could have been able to work with my amazing Fine Food Bank team to serve so many people during the pandemic and still continue to serve so many people nowadays. So for me, this program is full circle for me, and the weight that it carries to be able to combine both the personal understanding of what a community college can do for families, lifting them out of poverty and allowing them to thrive. I'm so happy that the organization, Find Food Bank, can partner in the space to be able to give more people the same opportunities that I myself have been able to personally take advantage of. So for all of you here, so you know your work, we have a team of 40 of you that are coming. 450 hours in a year is what you are dedicating with your service and time to this community. And with Find Food Bank serving over 150,000 people in our community on average every month, children, adults, seniors, 97% of them are working. They're just struggling to make ends meet right now. The cost of gas, the cost of food, the cost of everything is skyrocketing right now throughout the United States, and we feel that impact. But for you, you have this ability to not just help yourself, be able to put yourself through school, to be able to not have to incur debt because you're getting the stipends. What you're doing is you're giving hope to so many people that they know where their next meal is coming from, because you're helping us process over 20 million pounds of food in a year. So you have this pantry, but you're in our warehouses, we're at our sites, in order to be able to distribute the food to people that are so grateful and thankful that you're going to allow them to go to school, to be able to get good grades in elementary school, and middle school, and high school. You're going to allow them to go to work on full stomachs so that they have the ability to make money to support their family, to pay for their gas, to pay for their medicines, and to be able to get those promotions in order to help continue their ability to be able to thrive. And you're going to be able to help our organization make sure that we can continue to stay stable so that people know where their next meal is coming from. The weight that you have doesn't just stop at feeding people. That's just ending hunger for today. This partnership represents the full trajectory of ending hunger from all different facets. Ending hunger for today, from the food that we're putting out into the community to stop hunger in this moment. Ending hunger for tomorrow by helping them access services that the government can provide, the CalFresh services, the nutrition education, in order to allow them to be healthy individuals that will sustain them to thrive. And it combines ending hunger for a lifetime, where we're tackling the root causal approaches of hunger, because it talks about education, and it talks about giving people the opportunity to better themselves like my parents did through the community college system, in order to be able to go and get the jobs that you need, so you're not in the food bank line looking for emergency help, but you're continuing what you're doing today, which is helping those that need support and giving back into community. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for being with us. I hope you do a second year. The program's open up. We hope you do a second year, and we're very, very thankful to have all of you. Thank you so much. Now is I'd actually like to introduce the most important people in the room, the College Corps Fellow speaker that will be representing your group in their comments. So. This is one. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. College Corps identifies and caters to the actual meaning of love. To give without selfish gain is a fine quality. USDA identifies food insecurity as a lack of consistent access to enough food for an active and healthy life. In layman terms, not to have enough food to satisfy your mind. It humbles me to admit I have embraced this obstacle myself. It took a lot of determination and prayer for me to overcome that situation. I believe Governor Newsom has a plan to empower Californians to do more to improve the overall living conditions of our residents who are in need. And California, it's a great state, but I believe California Corps is the beginning of that plan. It's a blessing to be able to experience positive leadership, increase knowledge in our community, and actually make a difference that will cultivate our communities and state. I would like to thank Fine Food Bank, COD, and Governor Newsom, and all who work with me. Thank you.
Let's do it. All right, Assemblyman Garcia, I think we now have a really big honor where we get to have fun with the big check. That's the reason we all came.
Should we stand in front?
So we can do a photo here, but then we can also do it when we unveil the pantry. So we can do one here, and then we'll do another one over there. So far.